Imagine waking up tomorrow with absolute proof that Bitcoin will one day cross $100,000. Every crash, every recovery, every headline, you already know how the story ends. Most people believe that would guarantee wealth. They are wrong, because this is the story of a man who knew the future with complete certainty and still lost everything. Not because Bitcoin failed, not because the prediction was wrong, but because of one invisible mistake that quietly destroys more investors than any market crash ever could. Before this story ends, you will discover why predicting the future is never enough to become rich, and why the biggest danger to your money is not the market. It is the voice inside your own head. So before we continue, tell me in the comments, if you knew Bitcoin would reach $100,000, what would you do differently today? And if stories like this help you think about money in a completely new way, subscribe now, because every week we uncover the financial lessons most people learn only after losing everything. It was January 2019. Bitcoin had crashed more than 80% from its peak. News channels called it the biggest financial disaster of the decade. Friends laughed at anyone still holding crypto. Every headline repeated the same message: Bitcoin is dead. But inside a tiny apartment, a 27-year-old software engineer named Ethan quietly smiled. While everyone else saw failure, he saw the beginning. Ethan had spent years studying Bitcoin, the technology, the cycles, the history, the fear. He believed something almost nobody else believed. One day Bitcoin would reach $100,000. Not maybe, not possibly. He believed it with absolute certainty. Looking back, that confidence was never the problem. What happened next was, he opened his banking app and looked at his savings. 5 years of hard work sat quietly on the screen. It was enough to completely change his future, if he made the right decisions. His finger moved toward the buy button. He whispered just 6 words to himself. This is the easiest money ever. Those 6 words quietly changed the rest of his life, because the moment you believe making money is easy, you stop respecting risk. Ethan had correctly predicted the destination, but he had completely underestimated the road that leads there, and the next decision he made would cost him more than money. It would cost him every dream he had ever built. At first, everything happened exactly the way Ethan expected. Bitcoin climbed, his investment doubled, then it tripled. Every green candle felt like proof that he was different. Friends who once laughed at him suddenly wanted advice. They asked when to buy and how high Bitcoin could go. Ethan never bragged. He simply smiled, but deep inside a dangerous thought quietly appeared. Maybe I really can't be wrong. Success changed Ethan in ways he never noticed. He stopped checking risk and started checking profits. Every win made him feel smarter. Every prediction made him feel untouchable. Then one night, while reading investment forums, he discovered something that promised even faster wealth: leverage. One trader claimed he had turned $50,000 into $1 million. Ethan laughed at first. Then he whispered the sentence that destroyed his future. If I already know where Bitcoin is going, this isn't gambling. The first leverage trade worked perfectly. Then the second, then the third. His account exploded with profits: $100,000, $200,000, $300,000. His bedroom wall filled with dreams: a new house for his parents, a luxury car, early retirement. None of those dreams felt impossible anymore. They felt guaranteed, and that is exactly when greed quietly replaced discipline. Then Tuesday arrived. Bitcoin suddenly dropped 5%, 8%, 12%. Ethan stayed calm until his phone vibrated. He looked down and felt every drop of confidence disappear. 4 simple words filled the screen: margin call required. His heartbeat raced. He knew Bitcoin would recover someday, but someday would not save him today. He transferred every dollar left in his bank account, hoping to survive one more day. It wasn't enough. The market dropped again. Seconds later, another notification appeared. Your position has been liquidated. Years of savings disappeared in a single afternoon. Bitcoin hadn't defeated Ethan, his own certainty had. For weeks, Ethan could not even open a price chart. Every Bitcoin headline felt like a reminder of the biggest mistake of his life. Then something unbelievable happened. Exactly as he had predicted, Bitcoin began climbing again. 60,000, 80,000, 100,000. The world celebrated. Ethan simply stared at the screen in silence because he had been right all along and still lost everything. That day, Ethan finally understood something the market had been trying to teach him from the very beginning. Making money has very little to do with predicting the future. Keeping money has everything to do with controlling yourself. The market did not destroy him. Greed did not destroy him. Leverage did not destroy him. His real enemy was certainty. The moment he believed he could not lose, he stopped respecting risk. And the market always humbles people who forget that lesson. Years later, Ethan returned to investing. But this time, everything was different. No leverage, no borrowed money, no chasing overnight riches. Every month, he invested patiently no matter what the headlines said. Slowly, his portfolio began growing again. Not because he had found a better prediction, but because he had finally built a system that could survive bad days as well as good ones. That was the day he truly started becoming wealthy. Most people spend their lives searching for the next Bitcoin. The smartest investors spend their lives protecting themselves from their own emotions, because predicting the future might make you money once, but discipline can make you wealthy for the rest of your life. So before you leave, answer one question in the comments. If you knew Bitcoin would reach $100,000, what is the one rule you would never break? Subscribe for more finance stories that reveal the lessons most people only discover after losing everything. Sometimes the greatest investment you will ever make is not in Bitcoin. It is in mastering yourself.